She told me she loved me. She looked me right in the eyes, smiled that familiar smile, the one that used to melt every doubt, and lied. Smoothly, effortlessly, like it was second nature. I didn't see the deception then. I believed her. I trusted her. I built entire futures around the promise in those 3 words. Weeks later, the truth arrived, not with a confrontation or some grand dramatic scene, but with silence, the slow, aching kind. Texts left on read, calls that rang unanswered, conversations that once flowed effortlessly became strained, awkward, empty. And then came the words I never expected. I need space. Space. That's what she called it. Not betrayal. Not dishonesty. Not the slow collapse of everything we had. Just space. She didn't admit it then. Not really. She slipped out of my life the way people do when they're already somewhere else. I was left alone, confused, endlessly wondering what I had done wrong. I racked my brain, replayed every conversation, every moment, hoping to find the one crack where everything began to fall apart. The first month was a fog. I didn't sleep. I barely ate. Every inch of my apartment screamed her name. The coffee mug she always used was still in the sink. The scarf she left hanging on the coat rack still held her scent. I'd lie in bed at night staring at the ceiling, suffocating in a grief no one could see. Because she wasn't dead. She had just chosen a life that didn't include me. I reached out once. Just a single message. Are you okay? No reply. But hours later, I saw her smiling online, arms wrapped around someone else. The kind of smile that used to belong to me. That moment cut deeper than any words could. She hadn't just left. She had replaced me. Easily. Effortlessly. Like I'd been nothing more than a story she finished reading and shelved without care. So I stopped. I stopped checking her profiles. Stopped waiting for closure. That wasn't coming. I deleted her number, not out of anger, but out of necessity. To breathe. To begin again. I poured myself into healing. Went back to the gym. Reconnected with friends. Picked up hobbies I'd abandoned when my time revolved around holding our relationship together. Piece by piece, I rebuilt myself. Not all at once. Not easily. But day by day, I stood taller, a little less broken than before. A year passed. Then, on a quiet Sunday afternoon, the doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone. When I opened the door, there she was. The same woman, but smaller. Somehow, her fire was dimmed. Her eyes, once so bright, now carried weight. She held a small ring box in her hand. "Hey," she said, voice barely a whisper. I said nothing. I just stepped aside. She walked in like she no longer recognized the place. Like this space, once ours, now belonged to a version of me she couldn't quite place. "I was stupid," she began. She didn't try to sugarcoat it. Her voice cracked as she spoke. "I thought I wanted something new, something exciting. But all I found was noise, empty nights, people who didn't care. I kept searching for something real, not realizing I'd already let it go." She opened the box. Inside was a simple ring. "I should have never left," she said. "I lied to you. I ran when I should have stayed. I came here hoping, maybe, you might give me a second chance." I looked at the ring, and all at once, I remembered the version of myself who would have given anything for that moment. The man who once dreamed of proposing, of growing old with her, of building a life filled with children and quiet mornings. But that man was gone. She had buried him when she walked away. I had waited for her. I had cried, begged, broken. I had bled emotionally in silence while she disappeared into someone else's arms. And now here she was, hoping the damage could be undone with a box and a few tearful apologies. But I had healed, and healing changes you. "I'm not the same man you left," I said softly. "And that ring, it doesn't mean what it used to. You walked away when I needed you the most. You found yourself by breaking me. I found myself by surviving without you." Her tears fell freely then. She nodded slowly, already understanding what I hadn't fully said. "I understand," she whispered. I had to try." There was a silence then, thick and final. "I did love you," I said at last. Maybe a part of me always will. But that love belonged to a version of you who didn't lie, who didn't leave. She placed the ring box on the coffee table, walked to the door. No expectations, she said, hand on the knob. Just, I'm sorry. The door closed quietly behind her, and I stood there, not broken, not bitter. Oh, she came back hoping to rewrite the past, but I had already turned the page. Because sometimes closure doesn't come from the person who hurt you. Sometimes it comes from realizing you no longer need them to heal. You already have.